What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting from the D. And we got to talk about Dr. Umar again. There's something that happened that it's not really gotten a whole lot of traction, and I wonder why. Dr. Umar, a little bit ago, he was in UK giving one of his stand-up talks. You know, those are the things that he gets paid for. He brags about how he's the most booked, whatever. But he went, and it was a crowd of women, of course, because I think men by now have no respect for Dr. Umar and just are not interested in hearing a guy preach to them while doing the opposite. But he still says all of the things that sisters love to hear, so they are still his biggest supporters. When will they learn, right? But anyway, one sister in particular who was there at this UK meetup, she confronted him about the fact that he has 3 children by 3 different women, and you know, was essentially being called a deadbeat dad by his eldest. He preaches all of the black queens forever, snow bunnies never. However, he's knocked up 3 different women and did not take a black queen for himself. In fact, he's still being kind of messy because he's gotten exposed by at least 1 woman, possibly 2, for, you know, essentially being a terrible human being. I'm not going to dive into that messy stuff in this video, but he struggled to really answer the question. First off, the woman, she was a bit long-winded. She got up there holding the mic. She was saying that, you know, she's got a son that's like, I think 27, and shout out to her because she did not look like somebody that would have a 27-year-old son. But the next generation needs to hear certain things, and I don't know what that had to do with what she was about to hit him with. But essentially, she ambushed him with the accusation of him being a deadbeat dad, you know, and he just really, he seemingly didn't know what to do with that. He couldn't really deny the accusation, so he tried to spin them. He claimed, well, he's got a cause, he's got a purpose, and the woman that he's with has to support his purpose. And, you know, some of the women in the room clapped. You know, they did the seal clap. And that just goes to show you, that man can say anything and it make no sense. And black women will still applaud him and support him because, bro, you talking about you got to have a woman that supports your cause and yada, yada, yada. But that's not stopping you from laying down with him. That's not stopping you from hitting raw. That's not stopping you from apparently going ahead and shooting up the club. So I just really wasn't getting that. I remember his eldest daughter, when she first came out talking about him, she had said initially, and this is when she first started putting him on blast, she had said that she had been trying to get in touch with him for quite some time, and he basically would leave her on red. He wouldn't call her back, you know, wouldn't respond to messages, inboxes, all of that. You know, he was paying child support apparently, you know, so she never denied that, but apparently the child support wasn't enough because she was claiming to be homeless and claiming that he did not care about her at all. He only cared about his online image, being the prince of Pan-Africanism. Well, she did a follow-up after that. She said she had talked to her father, and the things that she said in the follow-up supported the stuff that she was saying in the original video. She was saying that she was still homeless and that he didn't care about her, and that you know, they had talked, but he didn't offer her any assistance whatsoever. He basically just was upset about the fact that she went messy public. So that does support the claim that he cares more about his image online than anything else. She had also said that she was 9 the last time she had seen her dad. that it had been over a decade. She said that he knows the numbers, he has the ways to contact her, and simply chooses not to. I can believe that. You know, I'm not accusing him of being a deadbeat dad, but his own daughter's words, they seem pretty hard to argue with. If you want to reach out to somebody, you can. All right, if they don't have you blocked, that is. If you want to get in contact with somebody, you can find them on Facebook, you can find them on IG, Twitter, whatever. You can slide into whatever inbox that it is that they have, if you don't already have their number. If you already have their number and they haven't changed it, then you can pick up the phone and call them. Now, she had some sort of contact or mode or method of contacting him, because she was saying that he kept leaving her on red. So there was some way to contact her. So that just shows you that if he wanted to, he could have. He simply didn't want to. So the woman continued on saying a bit more, and I could tell Umar was pretty uncomfortable and was like trying to silence her. The thing that I thought was really amusing of this exchange is that he was confronted with a question that he really couldn't altogether avoid. You guys know, if you ask Dr. Umar questions that he doesn't like and doesn't want to answer, he is quick to block you online. You ask him a question about the school, he'll say blocked and call it a stupid question. You ask him what he did with the money, blocked, that's a stupid question. So here was a scenario where he's in a room full of women and he's being asked the question by a woman. So he can't be mean or disrespectful in any way, shape, or form, because that clip's gonna go viral and it's really gonna hurt him. If he would have been standing up there talking to a black woman, reckless, for simply asking him about being a deadbeat dad, which is something that a lot of sisters can identify with, they can relate to, having a deadbeat baby daddy. That would have went viral, and that would have effectively been career suicide for him. You know, if I could even say that in a YouTube video, because you know YouTube could be very sensitive. But still, he wasn't disrespectful, but he avoided answering it nonetheless. And it is what it is. We still won't get a straight answer from him about how he has 3 kids by 3 different women, didn't marry any of them, still ain't trying to get married. My thing is this, man. If you serious about getting married, if you're intentional about getting married, you shouldn't be a guy that's Dr. Umar's age and you still don't have a wife. Especially if you believe in all of the things you are preaching. Raising children, raising boys to be men, being a stand-up man, believing in family. Like, if you truly believe in these things that you're preaching and they're not just talking points or grifts, you should have been able to find a wife by now. So I'm gonna leave it there, you guys. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. Hit me in them comments. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.